It is one of the hardest. Yeah. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Mic check.
Yeah, mic check. Is it there? Okay.
Mic check. Yes. Yes. P L P. Yeah. Good.
I just send it to you too, just in case.
Yeah.
They give you an indication as to when the election might be, when the announcement will be made. So, there's a lot of meeting every morning, entire line. A lot of meeting with candidates and for 3 hours and 4 hours. I think they need to work on who need to be worked on and just free up other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
education.
We are shortage of water, and I expect them to be telling you how we need to have some centralized wastewater treatment systems. But if we in this project, we just go to that area because everybody living in individual septic and we can't hold with a water shortage.
Listen, I go in a capella, you know, so you just go. I can follow you and you follow me.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of The Point. After inevitably taking a break to facilitate the progression of this progressive political party, the most progressive political party we would have had in the Federation for a very long time. Now tonight we are going to be having three candidates of the PLP. We're going to be having Akila Bayo-Nisbet, we're going to be having Nubian Guerre, we're going to be having Stacio Williams, not necessarily in that order. And we're going to have a great time. We're going to flow as freely as we can, and we're going to give you a chance to hear what the candidate has to say going into deeper waters. Throughout the time that would have passed, most were on the surface, getting deeper, and we would have moved from a superficial environment to one where it is now oil deep. This is crunch time, so everybody get into what they have to offer. Now, Nubian, welcome to The Point.
Thank you very much for having me.
Right, and I'm going to give you a few minutes, 7, 8 minutes to give you introductory remarks.
Good night to you, Mr. Nitan, and good night to the listening public out there. I'd like to say a special good night to my folks right out there in Constituency number 2, and my friends and my colleagues at the Vision Center right there on Central Street. I believe that I am pretty known at this point in time, but for those who doesn't know, I am Nubian Greer, a product of McKnight. I spent most of my time in McKnight, and I went to the Irish Town Primary School, the Bastia High School, Bastia Senior High School, and to CFBC, the Tech Voc division, and went to study ultimately in Cuba, and earned myself a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. Upon finishing my studies, I ventured on a path to give back to my community in a meaningful way. Because of the reason why I got my chance and I took advantage of it to better myself, better place my family in a position to not go through the hardships of life. And so based on those circumstances, knowing that I did not do it by myself and I had a lot of help, I was determined to give back and help as much persons as I could in the process. And so I started with my football team, the Garden Hotspurs Football Club, and was just a regular fan and donate stuff to the club. And then I was asked to be on the executive, and I became the president. And within that, we recognized that our community was struggling with gang violence, struggling with the lack of leadership, struggling with a lack of directions with the youths. And so I decided it was about that time to do something more meaningful that would have a greater impact. It could save lives in the process. And so we started some communications with the youths in the area, trying to figure out what the problem was, how the problem got there, and how we could intervene and help the situation. And so based on that, the whole idea of peace came along, and it worked. It worked for my community because the guys, even though they were involved in a senseless war, they wanted to see the change in themselves and in the community. They no longer wanted to be in prisons, in alleys and abandoned houses in McKnight. So then they joined quickly, and they wanted the peace. And so it spread from McKnight to Village to Shadwell, New Road, and Newtown, and it spread all around the country very, very quickly.
It also went over to Cottonground and Gingerland as well.
Yes, so it transcended and reached over into Nevis, and is what is known now as the Peace Program. I would like to thank Dr. Chaitan, who was one of the first persons sent by the National Security to assist us in some of those conversations we were having earlier on. And I would also like to thank the Prime Minister for his able leadership in all of these endeavors. And so I've been also involved in helping persons start small businesses, employing persons in my community. They're just looking out for persons. I am that type of person who always try to give back, lend a hand, and always try to help, essentially. And so based on that, for many years, I've been asked to take up a political stance in the community, which I had no intentions to do, because I'm guessing my perspective of a politician and your perspective of a politician was almost the same. They don't care about people. in my community, especially, most of our politicians always disappear after the election. Always say it was something amazing. The winner packs up and leave, the loser packs up and leave, and so we never had that type of leadership, that type of representation from persons, and so from our leaders, and so we always suffered in the end. And so with that, I was asked finally in 2022, and I said, you know what, I think I should, and I did, and I am here at this point in time, making a bid to represent the good people of Central Bastia in the upcoming general elections. So I am proud to be here. I think that poor people stands a very good chance to finally get good, solid, healthy representation that would give them a voice in Parliament, representation that would seek them out and give them back those 15 or 20-minute conversation that I had that have me here at this point in time. So it's an election that we must be cognizant of what is at stake at this point in time in terms of the development of the country, all those social programs that are in place at this point in time, and we must vote accordingly. And we must vote for PLP, not only in Central Bastia, but on St. Kitts on the whole in all the other 7 constituencies.
Well, thank you, Nubian. And we will go to some callers. We open the lines for some callers. And maybe unknown to you, you are actually involved in politics. Maybe not actively, because politics is the science of government. And it is the duty of those involved in politics to take care of persons around in the populace. And as you outlined, you're actually doing that without realizing.
Yes.
You might not have been involved in the politicking when you were actually involved. We have a call. Good evening. Welcome to The Point. Hello, good evening.
You solve our housing crisis.
If you are hearing us, we are not hearing you. We are working at it. Hello, good evening. We are making a concerted effort to link that communication. Good evening.
Good night, Nubian. I've been watching you on the campaign trail,
Yes.
and I've
Like I
envisioned
said, I
great
like
things
what you
coming
have
from you
outlined.
and the People's Labour Party.
I like what you
Now,
have
if the
outlined,
St. Kitts Labour
and
Party
I think
takes
that
away
you
the
can
PAP,
make inroads.
I don't know how
Simply
poor
because I'm
families
from
such
that
as
area
mine
as well.
will survive.
My grandmother, Enid Morton Hanley, she died many years ago, and if she was to come back in the region of McKnight, she would recognize every single thing. Nothing would look different. That just got to show you that they have not put much emphasis on developing the McKnight area. And it is unfortunate that somebody who would have died many years ago could actually come back and recognize her neighborhood. Because of the lack of progress, the lack of development, you do not see the representatives, the past representatives here, coming through and in frequent, coming through, period.
Yes.
Negligible
Yes.
number of times. Maybe the Honorable Doyle Astafa might have passed you on several occasions.
Yes.
But of the others, you can't say that we would have seen them. I don't know, what are your views on that though?
And I must say, and if I'm allowed to tell the truth, I should say that out of all the others, and I've said it before, Dwyer Astafan was probably the only one that ever had any meaningful impact on me as a child or as a youth coming up, because I remember specifically there was a dispute between 2 young men, and I remember my grandmother saying, Dwyer Astafan is who called the two young men. One was from Magnet and one was from Newtown, and dealt with the situation, how it needed to be dealt with. Because, you know, Newtown and Magnet always had their little issues, probably since before I was born.
Yes.
And so he stepped in and showed leadership in that regard. And so I have always had great respect for Dwyer Astafan. But outside of Dwyer Astafan, we have lacked leadership terribly throughout the years. And so it has created a system where people don't trust politicians.
Good evening, welcome to the point.
Mr. Greer, we need more homes in number 2. How will you solve our housing crisis?
Thank you very much for that question. Would you make a note or would you respond to them immediately? Make a note, you respond to them immediately? Okay, respond. Oh no, we're going to accept another call. So just make notes accordingly. We have a next caller. Good evening. Welcome to the point.
Good night, Nubian. I've been watching you on the campaign trail, and I've envisioned great things coming from you and the People's Labour Party. Now, if the St. Kitts Labour Party takes away the PAP, I don't know how poor families such as mine will survive. So my question to you tonight is, how can we stop them?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Are we going to facilitate the next one before he responds? Are we going to collect them? No, you can respond to the questions then, Mr. Greer.
Hi, good night. How has the peace program?
We have always had, not always, but we have had of recent times a housing crisis in Central Bastia, due in part to what you just mentioned, the lack of representation, the lack of development, the lack of initiative, the lack of creativity in just solving poor people's problems in Central Bastia. And so we are landlocked between constituency number 1, constituency number 8, and constituency number 3. And we don't have any available lands at this point in time to distribute towards any land initiatives or any housing initiatives. So we have to seek land in other areas, like in Boyd's, West Farm, Keys, Keon, Connery, not Connery, but Keon, and those areas that have lands and cane fields available for housing. And so when we do find land, then the lands are distributed. But at this point in time, we are seeing an influx of persons requesting land, an influx of persons want housing. And so how do we deal with this issue? To me, one of the main, what we should be focusing on at this point in time is building vertically, building apartment buildings.
And then room to move laterally.
Exactly, so you go vertical.
Yes.
So you do 4 or 5 story buildings with elevators to cater for the disabled, and we could do 2 and 3 bedroom apartments, you know, on a rent to own basis, not because I know persons in the garden housing project, after 40-something years, they're still paying rent, which is an atrocity at this point in time. Some persons would have purchased those houses almost twice. And so, at this point in time, one of the main solutions to the housing crisis is building vertically where we have land. So we could do 10, 20 buildings.
But vertically, where in what area?
Wherever you have cane fields. If you look at America, most of the buildings go up vertically. Is wherever the land is available, it would cater for a vertical building going up.
Many persons have a lot of pride in their communities, and as a result of the lack of the housing project, land for building houses, persons are displaced, so to speak. Yeah. And most persons like from the Magnet area would have to go up to New Road, and maybe they have to go to Keon or somewhere.
Yes, yes.
That's spot where they have the education, the old education building. I always felt as if they could have put up a three-story structure there, even before they went up to
New Road, correct.
That's the vertical height you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, areas like that, I mean, you could do an apartment building to house a few persons.
Families.
Right. But in a meaningful way, to impact a few hundred families. If we get a cane field and build like 5-10 buildings, we could house a few hundred families.
From the same community. So
From the same community.
Spirit would still be there.
Correct.
Despite the geographical
Location, correct. Yes, yes, yes.
So that would be a challenge, but we can still essay to do that. Now somebody asked a second question.
About the PAP.
We have an expert, so just make a note. Good evening, welcome to the point with Nobia and Greer. Hello. Yeah, we're essaying to make the connection. Good evening, welcome to the point with Nobia and Greer.
Hi, good night. How has the peace program protected people?
Okay, thank you very much for that rather interesting question. You're talking to somebody who was actually at the christening of the peace program, so he would always be delighted to address situation to that. Now you can go back to the second question and then you take on that.
Yeah.
So we'll just pause it for you to respond.
Okay, I believe the second
Good
question
night,
is,
Nubian.
what if they took away the PAP? And I believe the young lady emphasized on the fact that the PAP is critical in her monthly budgeting in order to deal with certain expenses. And so, in my mind, it's understanding the demographics of the persons that we cater to. The poverty alleviation project is geared to lifting persons out of poverty. And so when you minus that from their monthly expenses, then you're pushing persons further down into a financial hole. And so it comes from a place where they don't understand the demographics and the dynamics of the persons that they are dealing with. After being struck by the COVID, after having to deal with the after effects or the continued effects of a war in Ukraine, where prices are going up, shipping costs are going up, all the prices are going up, then added to that, now you're saying, well, I want to take away the little $500 that you have, then it shows that they don't understand the people that they intend to govern.
And that's, you discuss it nicely, and you're correct. At the nucleus of our question still is, what can we do to stop them? Only one way to do it. Vote PLP.
Vote PLP. That's the only way to stop them.
To reassure continuity of the program.
Of course. And it goes further even outside the issue of PAP. It goes further to where we had a roofing program, and it speaks more to now that we have a home assistance program that allow poor people who otherwise might not have had the money to deal with some minor repairs in hurricane season. And so it's preparing, having a government that understands that poor people need opportunities and poor people need a little help now and again. And this government is ready, willing, and able to offer that help and that assistance to those that otherwise might not be able to deal with it on their own.
They did not pick and choose. They gave people in yellow, they gave people in blue, they gave people in green, they gave people in red, they gave people in orange.
Yes, yes.
So they did not choose any color.
Well, what they did is the same thing I do when I canvass. I don't pick and choose. I go to everybody because I see everybody as human beings first and foremost. And I see everybody as a potential ally, that working together we could create a better community, a better village, and a better constituency. And at the end, a better St. Kitts and Nevis.
Do we have a next
Well, I believe there was another caller who said, how did the peace program protect the people? The peace program, not only, because I don't want to stress on the lack of violence anymore, because that is obvious. I mean, we had an unfortunate event. My condolences goes out to the family, but the protection of the people goes deeper than physical protection. It speaks to the fact that we protected the economy. It speaks to we protected our national carnival. It speaks to it protected persons that probably wanted to get involved in gang violence. It protected the harmony that exists between families. It protected the relationship that exists between families and different communities.
Intangible,
right, tangible, correct. Gains. I spoke to a lady in the gut, and she said, you know, and she's on the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party side. Well, she was, and she said, you know, Nubian, I've never met you before, and she said, my grandson was involved in a gang. And he has always told me that due to your intervention is why he's alive today. And I've never met you before, and today I want to tell you thanks. And she said, my grandchildren, all of them are your fans. So we were Labour, and so my grandkids are voting for you. Their mother is voting for you. But I need you now to convince me why I should vote for you. And we sat there, outside the house, and we had a conversation like for half an hour. And I told her I'll pass back and have more conversations with her, because she understood what the peace meant. I mean, some persons push out the narrative, oh, it's just young man getting money, and it's just young man doing this, it's just young man doing that, which is nothing further from the truth. The peace and the peace process did so much intangible things for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Look at our music fest.
Look at the numbers,
look at
Juve.
Exactly.
No fights.
Look at what Mac Night is today. Look at the time. It's 10 minutes to 9 or 5 minutes to 9. Look at what Mac Night was a few years ago at 10 minutes to 9. It was a ghost town. And we must appreciate what the peace did for our communities. And it wasn't only Mac Night. It was the entire federation, or even over in Nevis. So I, as a parent, have a peace of mind now, knowing that my kids could go with barman and practice basketball on the Dorset basketball court.
Less stress.
Less stress. So the only thing I have to worry about is my kids are walking on the sidewalk and they're not walking in the streets, so I don't hit them. My other son play football down on the garden football field. I don't have that stress anymore. Exactly. Exactly. Most definitely. Most definitely.
Unfortunately, time would have run us down. And having 3 persons,
yes,
yeah, time would have run us down. We started a bit late due to circumstances beyond our control. So you could just give your
well, I would just want to pat on this notion that my plans for Central Bastille would be dealing with houses, the housing crisis that we have, dealing with the abandoned building that exists all around, finding a permanent solution to the abandoned buildings. In everything we do, every aspect of how we plan to protect people, we must deal with the job situation, that the lack of employment situation that exists, and the lack of entrepreneurial opportunities that exist in my constituency and all around the country on a whole. We want to look at how we could restructure education and get more opportunities for success for our youths. I grew up on a farm, And so I know what agriculture means and how it could bring opportunities to our youths and our country in terms of food security, employment opportunities, export opportunities, and all of that. So I want to address, well, probably next time when we have more time,
Yes, of
and we could
course.
get into more specifics,
Yes.
and also our marijuana situation here in St. Kitts. How do we plan to approach and deal with it on a national level that would benefit the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, benefit those same guys that coming off the peace program, benefit all those others that never got in trouble and never got on the peace program, how it could benefit St. Kitts on a whole and be an asset to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
We don't want another sugar plantation.
No, we don't.
Get people into processing.
Yes,
We
and
need to get
ownership.
them into dispensing. Because
Exactly.
when you regulate, then you're in the dispensers.
Exactly.
And we need to work on the area so that it becomes more conducive for persons who want the children to go to the Irish Town Primary School. The numbers down there very low.
Very low.
Because of the stigma that is associated
Yes.
with the area.
Yes.
And that is something as a representative we have to work on.
Yes,
To
most
get
definitely.
people reattracted to the Irish Town Primary School.
Yes,
It is
yes.
high time. High time.
And so I just want to close by saying, on the marijuana issue, I'm hearing that they'll have some
Distribution of land.
distribution of lands and licensing very, very soon, like in a week or two. So persons who are interested as a traditional cultivator who wants a license, information will be coming soon on how to acquire a license and how to acquire a license as a dispenser. And also if you're interested in opening a lounge, even right down here in Port Zante, where you could cater to the foreigners. And also on the CDB side, the medical side of it, there's licenses that will be available for exportation of cannabis product for health purposes. And so this government and the government that I chose to be a part of is geared towards the development and the progress of St. Kitts and Nevis. We must never, ever, ever forget that. That is what we are here for. I would not have gotten into politics if it was otherwise. And so I want to say, a vote for me is a vote for you. And a vote for me is also a vote for the progress of my community, my constituency, and St. Kitts on a whole. So vote for me, vote for the other candidates, and vote for PLP for the progress and the maintained progress of this country.
Okay, thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you. We'll take a break as we transform to accommodate another candidate.
It's as it pertains to gang warfare. Equally so, Market Street, Dorset, and Soho. Those communities suffered tremendously over the past 10, 12 years, 40 murders a year, 50 murders a year. And so I am committed to the peace as it is. I am committed to improving the peace, to make the young men more independent at the end of the day. I'm committed to holding the peace because what it means to our economy, what it means to our families, what it means to our children. And so peace and the peace agreement will always have my 100%.
Made some commitments to the people of number 3, I told them during the last election that I would deliver for them in a number of areas. I want to be able to continue so that I can fulfill those commitments that I would have made to them, plus be able to continue to provide job opportunities, secured future for them, and to make sure that they're able to be landowners, which is something that's so important to the people of constituency number 3. We've started, and I want to be able to continue. They gave me a 5-year mandate, and I want to be able to continue with that 5-year mandate. Made some commitments to the people of number 3. I told them during the last election areas I want to be able to continue so that I can fulfill those commitments that I would have made to them, plus be able to continue to provide job opportunities, secured future for them, and to make sure that they're able to be landowners, which is something that's so important to the people of constituency number 3. We've started, and I want to be able to continue. They gave me a 5-year mandate, and I want to be able to continue with that 5-year mandate.
And with me at this juncture is Akila Byron Nisbet, and I think she is becoming accustomed to the narrative of being called Deputy Prime Minister in waiting. And I want to admit publicly that I have great admiration for the way you would have grown, and many persons are now coming out, just like how they used to go out to hear Michael Oliver Powell and in very recent time Timothy Harris. They're going out to hear Akila Byron Nisbet on that platform. That vibrant person out there connecting, everybody looking forward. Even calls from overseas. They said, we would like to hear Akila, we want her some more. So they asked me to congratulate you.
Thank you.
And I think that you have grown considerably on that platform. Okay, so congrats.
Thank you. I
Now, your task tonight is to go into some depth with respect to the economy.
Yes.
Welcome again to the point, Ms. Byron Nisbet.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nital, and it is my pleasure to be here this evening and to be able to speak with you and everyone listening and viewing to the point this evening. We just had the very vibrant Nubian Greer, and I am so happy to see how he has been growing into his calling, into a new level of leadership and a new level of service and commitment to the people of constituency number 2, as well as the wider St. Kitts and Nevis as a whole. And I know he has a great contribution to make to our continued development. But as you said tonight, yes, I am here this evening to speak about our economy. And you know, one of the areas that the People's Labour Party is pretty much what we find to be important to us, and one of the areas that we are pushing strongly on is growing our economy, especially with what we've seen over the last 2 years in terms of how the COVID-19 have completely transformed the entire world as a whole. However, our economy has come a long way, a very long way, under the economic management of Dr. Timothy Harris, and I know that we can all agree to that. And this strong economic management meant that we weathered COVID-19, Mr. Nital, with no new taxes as well as any new charges. And so that must be commended. And we know what we are getting when we continue under his leadership. And certainly our PLP economic agenda will see growth through the largest ever home construction project in our country. We have already seen taxes cut for our businesses. We will continue to build new homes, attract more tourists by having new hotels. And then, of course, you know, we've heard us talk about recently the building of a brand new modern airport. You know, the RLB airports have been there for some time, and there is some adjustments that must be made to our airport. And so we are looking at upgrading that airport and making it into a more modern airport. But specifically, if I am to speak about West Bastia, which is the constituency that I represent, and I must say a special good night at this juncture to all the persons listening from the West Bastia communities. It's been a pleasure being your representative. It should have been 5 years, but it's been cut short drastically, and so I have only been your representative for the past 2 years. And there's so much we have done, but then there's so much more we still need to do together. And I like to stress on that all the time, because one person can't do it all. And it's all of us working in unison that will allow us to be able to achieve what we need to achieve And so within West Bastia in particular, some of the ways in which I intend to grow our economy in West Bastia is by introducing hydroponics. Let's see how we can expand our agricultural sector in West Bastia. And one of the ways I believe we can do that is through hydroponics. Hydroponics does not require as much land space, and you can control temperatures, so we can get crops all year round. And that's something I'm very much interested in, especially when you look at where we are right now globally. Food prices are soaring, energy prices are soaring, and so we need that food security. And so in West Bastia, I will be able to assist in providing upgrades to our agricultural sector with a focus on hydroponics, providing the training, getting the training and everything that is required for us to be able to expand that. And then there is the fisher folk. We do have a small fishing community in Palmetto Point, but you don't really hear much about that fishing community. However, the fisher folk in Palmetto Point, they sell their catch right in their community. And the area, they need proper facilities in order to be able to store their catch when they do catch more than they're able to sell. And there's a clean environment for them to have their fish and be able to sell to persons who would wish to purchase from them. And so a facility will be provided for those persons within that community. And so that is just two of the examples in which I wish to be able to grow the economy. But I'll talk about more of my local plan in time to come in our upcoming rally that's supposed to be happening this Thursday down in the Boyd's West Farm communities as we launch our C3 campaign right there in West Bastia. In terms of protecting our people, one of the things that I am interested in is mentorship. Mentorship is something that I think is important for our students in particular. Prepare them for world of work, prepare them to become more meaningful contributors to our country, to our economy, and equip them with the experience that they need in order for them to enter the world of work. And so that's one of the areas in which I certainly would wish to be able to help with protecting our people. The other thing that I want to continue to do is we have already had the plans that were approved for the upgrade and for the renovations to the Patsy Allers playfield, in terms of building a proper facility, bathrooms, changing rooms, etc. And that should have already been started, but because of COVID, we're not able to. So I will see to it that those get started this year for the people of West Bastia, so that our footballers in particular have a more comfortable environment and a more encouraging and appealing environment for them to be able to practice in the Limekeel area, in the village area at the Patsy Allers. But the same too for down in the Limekeel area. The same type of facility would also be provided. I have already had the drawings done for that as well, and so it's just about getting the funding so that we can begin the work there. Something else that I would like to do is the improvements to our road infrastructure. There's too many projects within the West Bastia area. We have the Shadwell West, the East West Farm development. Those areas have absolutely no roads at all. And the persons complain all the time, and understandably so, especially when it rains, the roads get eroded even more, and it's difficult for them to be able to traverse. And so I would see to it that those roads are put in those areas when I get back in there. You see what I said, Mr. Nita? When I get back in there. When I continue to be the representative. That's true. And then there are other areas where there's some work that needs to be done on the road infrastructure, in the Trafalgar area, in the Camps area, in Buckley's area. We need to get proper roads, and so this is something that I certainly would like to do. So these are ways in which I want to be able to help. And then when we talk about creating more jobs, which is another area that we focus on within the PLP, under the PLP umbrella, but specifically in West Bastia, I want to be able to provide mentorship opportunities for young entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs. Many of them say, you give us money and then our businesses don't go the way we wish because we do not understand the administrative side of the business that we are operating. And so we want to be able to provide them with that type of training, that type of mentorship to see them become successful. So that's one of the things I like to do. And then translate that into business expos and business fair on a monthly basis within West Bastia to ensure that persons are able to get that type of support that they need and that type of advertising and marketing that they need for their business so that persons can assist within the community.
Some of those same stuff might be coming through the questions that some callers would have for you.
I'm sure.
So instead of having to double up, what we would do is facilitate some calls so you get a chance to go there. And I must apologize. I think I did not put handle to your name when I referred to you as Miss Byron Nisbet. Instead, I should have said Minister, because we ought not to forget that you're currently a Minister of Government.
Correct.
So accept my apology. And we now try to accept some calls for Minister Byron, not as yet.
And so, Mr. Nita, so I just want to encourage persons in West Bastia to remember to vote for Akila Byron Nisbet, because there's so much more we still have to do. And any other vote for an opposition will be putting the strides that we've made in St. Kitts at risk. So just a reminder to vote for Akila Byron Nisbet, vote for PLP, vote for the Sun.
Okay, excellent. Do we have a call? Good evening. Welcome to the point with Minister Byron Nisbet.
What can PLP do to improve the economy?
What do you make of that?
Okay, we'll take 2 calls at a time. What can PLP do to improve the economy? Next call.
Good night, Akila. You don't know Jamaican there. Well, and if you're right, I've been here for more than 20 years, and I like how the country been running lately, honestly. And I just want to know one question though. Do y'all got anything in place to deal with the raising in the prices and things?
We got that question. What is the government doing to deal with the rise in prices? So what we'll do is facilitate the minister in giving her responses, and then upon completion of the responses to those 2 questions, then we'll go into another round of calls.
All right, thank you so much to the callers who would have called in, and thanks so much for those questions. I think the first one was speaking basically about how we're going to improve the economy.
Yes.
And so some of the ways in which the People's Labour Party hope to be able to improve the economy or continue to improve the economy is, as I've said earlier, one of the things I said earlier, and it's important here as well, is by being able to launch one of the largest ever home construction projects in our country, the likes that we've never seen before, and it's going to take on some different forms as well. And so that's one of the areas in which we want to improve the economy. Of course, you know, we'll continue to cut taxes for businesses, to give them the opportunity to continue to grow and develop, because of course we can't do it without the private sector, and these businesses need as much support as they can get. So tax cuts is always something that will help them to improve their bottom line, and then that translates therefore into improving the business and our economy. As I said earlier as well, another area is that we are considering building a more modern airport. This is something that we haven't had in quite some time, and of course our airport needs upgrading. And when you build a modern airport, then you open us up and allow us to be able to get more flights in and get more tourists in. And so that is something that we're looking for, especially since we are considering as well bringing a brand new all-inclusive hotel here to St. Kitts and Nevis as well. So of course, in order to accommodate yet another hotel, we need to make sure the facilities are able to deal with bringing in more tourists, and so that's why upgrading the airport is important. The second question was about cost of living. How are we dealing with dealing with cost of living?
Yes, where is the prices?
Well, in terms of the cost of living, I'm sure persons are aware that the government would have already cut taxes on fuel and food. As we know, because of the war in Ukraine in particular, fuel and food prices have gone sky high. And so the government have found ways in which we can cut taxes for those food and fuel prices to allow persons to be able to afford them. Afford it at the pump and then afford it when you go to the supermarkets. And then, of course, there is the PAC, which the Prime Minister would have spoken to, that we intend to increase so that we allow persons to have even more, by September 1st, allow persons to have more income in the household to allow them to do more and to help themselves and their families. Of course, you know, we've recently stopped all disconnections of electricity for persons who would have had arrears. And so at this time we're saying just pay your current bill and you'll be able to have that electricity. You don't have to worry about the arrears at this point. Something will be put in place to allow you to be able to catch up on those arrears. But we're just coming out of COVID. So many persons lost their jobs. And so we have to find ways in which we can assist persons instead of hurting them. And so these are some of the ways in which we are helping persons in terms of the cost of living.
You know, it's amazing. Some persons are getting a little bit confused when you say, we give you a break from the electricity bill, but we want you to pay your current bill.
Correct.
And the same current and electricity is the same.
Yeah, because that's
what
we
you
say.
can use a synonym and you say pay your present bill.
Yes,
and
your
the one that was
present
there
bill.
before we organized to you. Do we have a caller?
Hi, good night, Miss
Good
Byron.
evening.
How
Welcome to
important
the
is
point
the
with
economy for
Minister
investing in our public
Byron
service?
Nicholas. Hello.
Good, good.
I'm just calling to find out something because we know you didn't get much time from your last term to do what you really wanted, what we think you really wanted to do. So I'm asking now, what are your plans? How do you plan to grow the local economy in West Side here?
Thank you so much for that question, Carla. I would have mentioned some of them before in terms of the hydroponics and agriculture, as well as the facilities for the fisher folk. But and some of the other things I would like to do as well is to transform my constituency office into a training hub, so that persons can have somewhere they can go to get basic training, to prepare them for work, to prepare them for whatever next step that they're trying to take in terms of their business. I have so many persons come to me who want to start a business, but they don't know. They have great ideas, but they don't know how to move them to the next level. And so we want to be able to provide that training to help you think through what your business idea is, turn it into a business plan that would then turn into an actual business that can be successful. So that's some of the things that we would want to be able to do. And then I know for quite some time now, we've been talking about the Buckley's Uprising and how do we memorialize the Buckley's Uprising. Yes. So the committee is there. There's work that we're still trying to do to make sure that we are able to memorialize the uprising and the events, building a memorial on the site itself that not only beautifies the area, but then you could have vendors and tourists coming in, because then people want to see this attraction and they want to be able to see what this meant to us in St. Kitts and Nevis. So that's one of the things that I would like to do. As well as, you know, I'm also the minister with responsibility for entrepreneurship, entertainment, and talent development. And so we're trying to think about that shift to the orange economy, or incorporating the orange economy, that is the creative economy, into what we do now as a pivot. And so I would want to be able to provide training for persons within the creative space. How do you build your brand? How do you make yourself marketable as a creative? And so these are some of the things that I would want to do. Of course, I would have spoken about the upgrades to the community centers. So then those two would provide facilities for persons to be able to, whether it's a dance group or it's after school program, provide that facility so that we can have that within the constituency for persons to be able to do more. But again, I said, I don't want to talk much about it now, because Thursday, I want everyone to come to the rally on Thursday to get the real meat and details of the things that we want to do in number 3.
We want to thank you for coming through and being a
Of
part
course.
of the point. And I think that you have given us some good fodder to think about, and I think the people in West Basset will continue to be proud of you. You lamented the fact that, unfortunately, your term was cut short.
It was.
But I know you are a lover of math, and 2 plus 5 is what? 7.
5 is 7.
So whatever
And
you
7
missed
is the
out
number
on,
of
2 plus
complete.
5 is 7.
It
So make
is.
up your mind to go for another 5.
I am definitely, and I've said it before, if they want the they want the 5-year term to be turned into 7, then so be it. In West Bastia, we will see that 5-year term turn into a 7-year term, and victory shall be ours. So I would like to just encourage persons to come out on a Thursday to the rally in number 3. And I want to make way now for my good buddy and friend from number 5, who will also be taking home the victory in number 5 for PLP.
I want you to keep saying, I want to get a call. 2 plus 5 is?
2 plus 5 is 7.
Okay,
2 plus 5 is 7. And in West Bastia, 2 plus 5 will always be 7. That's right. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Nital, for having me here tonight. Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll take a break at this juncture and make way for Stacio of number 5.
My name is Stacio Williams, and my plan for Sandy Point, Victory and La Valley is about regenerating our constituency as a modern, developed town. A major economic and administrative hub where you can start a business, grow your business, trade, shop, eat out, pay bills, and access a range of government services. A place where you can feel safe and protected. A place where you and your family can thrive. But to do this, I will need your help and support. Together, we can grow the Sandy Point economy by focusing on growing small businesses, transforming Sandy Point, Victory, into a commercial and entertainment center, and attracting commercial developments in Sandy Point. Together, I say, we can protect our people by pursuing our zero poverty agenda. Every household in Sandy Point, Victory and La Valley must be able to meet their basic needs, and with the help of locally funded social programs, we can achieve just this. Protecting our people also means developing programs to start to address mental health issues within our community, supporting our elderly and our aging population, and establishing a hardship fund so that our residents can have additional support when they need it the most. I plan to prioritize league and grassroots sports so that we can return to a place of excellence in sports. I pledge to support and protect the core principle of the peace program to keep our streets safe. These are some of my plans to protect our people. Finally, I believe that together we can create more jobs for the people of our community. A growing local economy is our first start to achieve this, but I will also create skills training opportunities for young people, including apprenticeships and mentoring programs, so that they can develop the skills they need to find the right jobs. I also plan to extend a range of agricultural products, boat building and fishing skills, and food processing capabilities to create more jobs in agriculture. These are just some of my plans. Contact us or visit our Vision Center on Mount Idle or on our social media pages to hear more about our plans for the constituency and how you can be a part of all of this change. I am confident that with your help, I can execute this plan to win for the people of Sandy Point. Join me as we aim to make SP truly where the best be.
Stacio Williams from the West, where the best is professed to be. Stacio, welcome to the point once again, and it's a pleasure to have you grace this all-important program.
Thank you. It's great being here. I want to say a special good night to our listening and viewing audience, and especially to our constituents, my constituents down there in Sandy Point, Victory and La Valley. I want to correct one thing because I see you struggling to say the West and the best. No, let's say it how we say it. It's SP, where the best be.
Not the whole West.
It's SP where the best be.
SP,
right.
okay.
You know, and so I'm here to represent our people, as I've been doing. You know, Mr. Nital, that just 2 weeks ago, we launched our Vision Center you were there. And that
spectacle.
that vision center, the significance of it is because it is important to lead with a vision. It is important that our people can embrace that vision and be a part of it. And that vision is a vision to secure our future and secure the future of our people, the good people of constituency number 5. Now, the PLP government has had a strong track record when it comes to creating jobs. They are members of the business community that I've spoken to, and they have told me this. And it comes from the strong leadership of our Prime Minister, who would have led us during the pandemic and helped to protect the livelihoods of so many of us. Now, he has also announced a clear plan for infrastructure development and jobs creation. That plan is going to build on the progress that we've already made so far. And that plan is going to see us withstanding the challenges of the pending global crisis. We know that there are threats out there right now. There's so many predictions about an economic global downturn in the economy. And so when it comes to leadership, it is very important that we look at that carefully. We can't risk our lives with lazy or inexperienced leadership. We have no time for that. The future of our children, the future of our families is too important. And so in constituency number 5, my pledge is to have my own leadership to the constituents or constituents and my representation that will deliver that secure future that they deserve down in Sandy Point, Fig Tree and La Valley. My plan would grow the economy. At the Vision Center I spoke about, and the launch of the Vision Center, how growing the economy requires us to create more opportunities. I spoke about the business incubator. There's so many young people and older persons as well who have business ideas in Sandy Point, and they would want to develop those ideas so that they can turn them into thriving businesses. This business incubator is going to allow them to get management support, technical support, and help them to create their business plans. Just like you should not build a house without a plan. It's not advisable that you try to build a business without a plan either. That plan is going to help to see to the long-term sustainability of the business. And this business incubator is going to see to that. Of course, my plan in Sandy Point also involves protecting the people. You know that Sandy Point was a place of sporting excellence. And today we are seeing where the leagues and sporting disciplines have disappeared, so to speak. And so that plan is to reinstate league and grassroots sports in Sandy Point, where you could have the various areas of Sandy Point, Fig Tree versus Daly, etc. And by having it starting as early as the primary school level, where persons can then learn the skills that are needed to become professionals as they develop. And that's part of protecting our people as well. My plan also involves creating more jobs. One of the initiatives that we have is to build a commercial park, a commercial plaza, really, in the, what we call the High Point area of Sandy Point. It's a new commercial district, and that plaza is going to be used to support entrepreneurs so that they can have a space to sell their products, offer their services to the public. I would have had all of this wrapped up in a manifesto that was recently released as well for my constituency. And so these are all part of a greater plan and a vision that I encourage all of our constituents to come out to our Vision Center and rally around this plan for securing the future for our people.
With all that development, I hope you don't entice Sandy Pointers to secede from saying it. With all that development, no, we try to facilitate some callers.
Sure.
Good evening, welcome to The Point with Stacio Williams. Good night.
Good night, Stacio.
Good night, sir.
Prime Minister Harris has spoken about him having a dream team of candidates. What does this team know about creating jobs?
So the one says that we'll take at least two and then give you a chance to respond. So if you want to write, take note, but we'll just take two so that you can do what you have to do. Next caller.
How important is leadership at the top if we're going to create more jobs?
Prime Minister Harris has spoken about him having a dream team of candidates. What does this team know about creating jobs?
Okay, thank you. We'll give the candidate a chance to respond to those two important questions.
Shall I?
Go ahead, yes.
Thank you so much, callers, for your questions. And I'll start with the first one. What will I do to create jobs in constituency number 5? There have been a lot of missed opportunities to grow and develop Sandy Point, Fig Tree, and La Valley in the recent decades. And by that I say we could have created a much stronger environment for local job creation if we had a hard-working representative that would really show up and work for us. And that is why I have created that plan for more jobs. I've created that plan that would allow for much more job creation. I'm going to talk a bit about that. Earlier I mentioned about the business incubator. Part of my plan also, by utilizing my own business experience. I started business when I was 19 years old, and I've been running for some 20 years now. And my intention is to use my business experience to translate some of that success into the community by setting up, for example, a business association that would cater to small and medium businesses, so that businesses can have a voice in the community and they can learn from the experiences of each other. And that will in turn help them, not just through the businesses that would emerge from the business incubator program that I mentioned earlier, but also by being able to have investment coming to the constituency as well. All of this working together would create a strong environment for businesses to thrive and to be able to create more jobs. If I move on to the
second question.
The second call asked about our dream team, or they made reference to a dream team. We indeed have a dream team. And what does that team know about creating jobs? There are several members of our team, Senator, right, who have practical, real experience, real world experience in creating jobs. I will start with myself, for example, right? Having grown 2 solid businesses over the past 2 decades, I have employed over that 2 decades between employees who would have passed through my organizations. My statistics show that I've employed in excess of 150 persons over those 2 decades. So I have real experience in creating jobs and job opportunities. If we look at number 8, Talbot. Talbot, like myself, is a businessman, and he has one of the largest transportation businesses here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And his own company has employed, I think currently employs around 16 persons. And that is an example of job creation, again, being part of our dream team. Earlier we had Nubi and Griot in number 2, who is an engineer, a businessman also. And through his engineering business, he has a record of creating jobs, recruiting young people, and giving opportunities for new skill development in engineering. On top of all of that, we have our Prime Minister and the Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet, who have a track record as well, having spent time serving the country in Parliament, of growing our economy and creating more job opportunities for people across the entire country. So we have to place our trust in a team, a dream team, a team that has experience, a team that has the knowledge, a team that can deliver by creating more jobs and securing the future for people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Excellent, commendable. Let us accept the next call. Good evening. Good evening, welcome to The Point with Stacio Williams.
Good night, Stacio. How important is leadership at the top if we're going to create more jobs?
We'll take another question and then we'll ask you to respond. Good evening, welcome to The Point.
Several seem to be very confident in Labour's ability to govern effectively. But you think he got over it, seeing that he never even win his seat?
Okay, thank you very much. We'll give the candidate a chance to respond.
Thank you very much, callers. Two very interesting questions, Mr. Nita? I must say, how important is leadership at the top if we are going to create more jobs? We've all seen the stories on the news, Mr. Nital, about the growing fears about the global economic recession. The US economy, for example, has fallen and has begun to shrink. What does that mean? It means there's going to be continuous rising price of food items and so on. The war in Ukraine has been a major contributor to that. What I say is that we need experienced leadership. We need experienced leadership to see our country through these uncertain periods and to deliver that secure future that we deserve, Mr. Nital. Our Prime Minister has shown that experience, strong leadership, and especially during the COVID pandemic, it is clear for all to see that he has been able to protect our people and our economy better than other countries. We have been the envy, Mr. Nital, of so many countries in the region when it comes to our economy and how that was held together. Let's look at Sean Richards. He has never been able to create jobs in his own constituency. That's been absent. He's been absent from cabinet. He's not been showing up. So many people have been complaining. So we see clearly that there's a failure there. Charity begins at home. And if you can't manage your constituency by creating jobs within your constituency, then how are you going to manage a country? For example, let's take a look at Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew, right, hasn't even been a parliamentarian for one day. Never won a seat. He's not qualified to be Prime Minister. He doesn't have the experience to create jobs. And so why should we risk our lives with inexperience or failed leadership? It is clear that we need to stick with experienced leadership and the PLP Dream Team to grow the economy and create more jobs here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Yeah?
I hope you will answer those tough questions to the likeness of the callers. We have a next question. One more question. Good evening. Welcome to The Point with Stacio Williams. Hello. Hello, good evening.
What do you think about Sean not showing up for work but want to be the next Prime Minister?
Okay, you can respond to that. That's a very interesting
question. Yeah, okay. Well, if someone can't do a very basic job of showing up to do a work that they have been employed to do, right? A very basic job. How should that person be trusted with something greater like running a country? You know, I mean, it's clear, right? To run a country, you need someone with a good track record of delivery, Mr. Nital. You need someone who has shown that through difficult times, especially, like we said, with the global downturn of our economy and these looming threats, we need someone with steady hands and experience. So the choice is clear. It cannot be Sean Richards for leadership.
That's consistent. That's consistent with what I've always said. That of all three Prime Ministers that we would have had, the Honorable Timothy Harris would be voted best out of all three. And I always said as well that I prefer Timothy Harris in a wheelchair than any other on a thoroughbred horse. That is the extent to which the ocean of a gap he has between them and himself with respect to astuteness, mental acuity, and the love for people. His thing is to do the greatest good for the greatest number of persons. And this was lacking very much in those that went before, and I don't believe it can be easily matched by those who are coming after. If you are elected, what experience can you bring to the job?
Yeah. Again, I say I bring my experience of my business, my years in business, right? I have been an innovator. I've been a pioneer on the pioneering front of technology and certain services in the media here in St. Kitts and Nevis. That experience has taught me a lot, Mr. Natal. That experience has taught me how to create opportunities when there seem to be no opportunities. That experience has taught me how to take care of people, how to protect their families. That experience has taught me how to ensure that the people who depend on me can be protected. That experience is what I'm going to bring to this country. That experience is what I'm going to bring to my constituency, because they've been lacking representation for so many years. When they call upon me to come and represent them, it was because of that experience that they have seen in me over the years, why they have reposed that confidence in me. And that is why I am feeling very good, Mr. Natal, about the reception I've been receiving in the constituency. I'm feeling very good about representing the people, and I'm fully confident that after election day, the people of Sandy Point, Fig Tree and La Valley would have elected Stacio Williams to represent them, to deliver for them in constituency number 5.
Those of you are trying to call, the queue is extremely long. But you can leave a message, because we'll find the time and the convenient juncture to utilize those same calls. So kindly leave messages as a call if you do not get an opportunity to get in directly to this program. Now, how important it is in having the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Timothy Sylvester Harris, to grow in the economy, protecting people, creating jobs. How important it is to have him at the helm, whether in a wheelchair.
You see, that pandemic that we are still struggling with today has taught us that if we don't have good leadership, good experience, qualified leadership at the helm of our country, what could really happen? Just look around the region and look at so many other countries, not just regionally but globally, who would have struggled to get the economy back on track, or to even keep the economies going during the pandemic. And while we've had our own challenges here too, because all countries, most countries have been affected in some shape or form. There was never a day, there was never a month when our civil servants, for example, would have gone without pay. Our Prime Minister was able to implement one of the best stimulus packages that we've seen across the region. So many persons who would have lost their jobs were able to benefit from that. On top of that, the economy held steady to the point where we're able to pay a double salary, when other countries were struggling to just even pay a salary.
Keep people employed.
And keep people employed, Mr. Natal. And so the record is clear, right? St. Kitts and Nevis has been kept steady economically during this pandemic, and it comes from leadership. And we cannot risk that. We cannot risk that by going with inexperienced persons, definitely not with lazy persons, because this requires someone who would work for you and lead our country with distinction.
And in any area of work, you have thinkers and you have doers.
That's right.
Some people are creative and can come up with ideas because they are thinkers. Others, having come up with that, you give them and they can do. You have some people who can neither think nor do. And that is why we have categorization of certain people. We are blessed as a federation to have the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, who is a hybrid. He's both a thinker and a doer. And I think that we should really pay great respect and commend him highly. And we should feel confident going forward that we have that hybridization of a thinker and a doer in the person of Timothy Harris to continue to lead our country. We make a special appeal for people to ensure that I continue by voting for people like you in number 5. Now, can you tell me some more about your local plan to deliver a secure future?
Absolutely. I would have alluded to my manifesto, which I've been pushing out there in the constituency as part of our vision. Just earlier this evening, I met with a group of farmers, the farmers in Sandy Point, where I would have listened to their concerns, trying to understand what ideas they have so that we can find a way to strengthen them and support them, because food security is so important. Part of my plan involves investing with our farmers, providing them the requisite support that they need, providing them with irrigation systems, investing in food processing plants and storage units for water, that the farmers can have the support they need to grow their crops. It involves expanding the public market in Sandy Point and giving them the avenue to not only sell their produce locally in the public markets, also to the neighboring communities, but also to assist them with technology platforms that they can export and sell their products online to other countries as well. So this is part of my local plan within the constituency.
And you spoke about food security, and we're going to look at it from two angles, in terms of quantity and in terms of quality. Because when we import food, they have to be preserved. Things like sodium, benzoate, and all this other stuff will have to be used, because of the long journey those food stuff will have to travel. And it's not all the time that they get out of our system easily. And that is why we might be having some food that are carcinogenic, and we're hoping that if we grow them locally, we will not have to put those chemicals on to preserve them. And we can never be assured about the quantity, because look at what is happening in Ukraine. A lot of things would have been that usually be around that area in frozen conditions. They are very much restricted right now. And if they're restricted out there they'll be restricted here as well. So we have to try to reduce import as much as possible for two reasons: quality and quantity.
Absolutely.
Now we'll give you a chance to wrap up, because we're coming close. There's about 2 more minutes. So what are your parting shots? I'm going to say shots and then like 3-pointer.
Yes. In closing, I would just like to assure the good people of Sandy Point, Fig Tree and La Valley that after election, they having elected Stacio Williams, they will finally get the representation that they deserve. Part of my plan includes, in my manifesto I have it listed, representation that would deliver quarterly reports as to how things are tracking within the constituency. Representation that would ensure that there are key indicators so that citizens and residents of Sandy Point can have a platform where they can track the progress. I'm talking an online platform where they can track the progress of certain developments within the community. Because I believe in data, I believe in innovation, and I believe in transparency. And so part of my plan will include those aspects to ensure that persons are comfortable, that they feel included, that they can be part of this great vision and plan for the long-term development of our constituency to protect our people, create more jobs, grow our economy, and secure our future. Thank you.
Yes, and we are very happy that you have gone on that avenue, and it sounds extremely good for the people of Sandy Point. And it is palpable that the success that will be coming their way, the progress that will be coming, that it will be managed. And I'm hoping also that the several capital projects that you have mentioned will be done in the Sandy Point, Fig Tree, and the Valley area, that you'll have environmental impact assessment done so that persons can have access to them and read to know how something would be impacting the environment. But that is lacking around here many times. You have major capital projects and we cannot have access to the environmental impact assessment. So I'm hoping that when you do your onslaught of capital projects, that you have environmental impact assessment that people will have access to.
Absolutely. The requisite studies will be carried out, and nothing is going to be done without proper consultation and having the studies and the results of that study that would guide the development and implementation of such capital projects.
Thank you very much. We had Nubian Greer from number 2, then we had Akila Bayo-Nisbet from number 3, and we're now having Stacio Williams from SP, where the best be.
You got that right.
And we I'm a quick learner, sometimes.
That's good.
Yeah, and I think the program would have gone on well, and persons would have really enjoyed what you have in store along with Nubian and Minister Byron Nisbet. Thank you for coming, and we look forward to having you more time so you could give us further update on the progress for your community when you become the elected representative.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being here. Have a good night.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. My name is Stacio Williams, and my plan for Sandy Point, Fig Tree, and La Valley is about regenerating our constituency as a modern, developed town. A major economic and administrative hub where you can start a business, grow your business, trade, shop, eat out, pay bills, and access a range of government services. A place where you can feel safe and protected. A place where you and your family can thrive. But to do this, I will need your help and support. Together, we can grow the Sandy Point economy by focusing on growing small businesses, transforming Sandy Point, Fig Tree, into a commercial and entertainment center, and attracting commercial developments in Sandy Point. Together, I say, we can protect our people by pursuing our zero poverty agenda. Every household in Sandy Point, Fig Tree, and La Valley must be able to meet their basic needs, and with the help of locally funded social programs, we can achieve just this. Protecting our people also means developing programs to start to address mental health issues within our community, supporting our elderly and our aging population, and establishing a hardship fund so that our residents can have additional support when they need it the most. I plan to prioritize league and grassroots sports so that we can return to a place of excellence in sports. I pledge to support and protect the core principle of the peace program to keep our streets safe. These are some of my plans to protect our people. Finally, I believe that together we can create more jobs for the people of our community. A growing local economy is our first start to achieve this, but I will also create skills training opportunities for young people, including apprenticeships and mentoring programs, so that they can develop the skills they need to find the right jobs. I also plan to extend a range of agriculture products, boat building and fishing skills, and food processing capabilities to create more jobs in agriculture. These are just some of my plans. Contact us or visit our Vision Center on Mount Idle or on our social media pages to hear more about our plans for the constituency and how you can be a part of all of this change. I am confident that with your help, I can execute this plan to win for the people of Sandy Point. Join me as we aim to make SP truly where the best be.